Hey everyone, George here, and in today's video, I want to talk to you about my $500 mistake or loss and update you a little bit on where I am in this Amazon FBA journey. So this is a video update number 2, and yeah, let's get started. So as I said in my previous videos, I'm in the process of sourcing and launching my first ever Amazon FBA product, and I wanted to keep record of everything I'm doing for myself as well as for you, so you can avoid the mistakes I'm doing along the line. And I think this is a really valuable video because I have made my first costly mistake, which I want to share with you, and hopefully you can avoid it later on when you'll be sourcing and launching your first product. So let's get started. Point number 1. So let me step back a little and first explain the story of how I lost the $500, and then give you 3 practical tips on what you can do to avoid this mistake. So the story goes a little something like this. I was getting samples from all these different suppliers, and I was looking at what suits the standards that I'm looking for, right? And I was looking for the highest quality, top-notch stuff, and I got samples from 5 suppliers in total, and I was looking at all of them, and 3 of them were like straight away they were shit, but then 2 came, right? And the last 2 ones, one of them came to Finland and one of them came to Russia. And at the time they arrived, I was in Finland, so I received that one, and then I came back to Russia for another one. And I was in a rush. I was feeling that I wanted to get this product out as soon as possible. So when I received, because samples take time, you're talking to manufacturers, and they're shipping, and you're very excited. It's your first product, and you're like, oh my god, when am I gonna get it? So when I got those samples from supplier in Finland, they were better than the ones I got before. So I was like, oh my god, this is exactly what I wanted. And I was like, okay, that's it, I'm gonna place an order with this supplier, without even taking the time to come back to Russia and look at the 5th supplier. So I remember I told the supplier, hey, listen, and I was leaving to Russia the next day after I received the sample, so I could have waited, So I wrote the supplier, hey, listen, I really like your samples. I wanna place the order down. So let's do it 30/70. She said, okay, fine. And she sent me whatever an Alibaba trade assurance, and I sent her over the money. It was $500 plus some commission, so it was around approximately $600. And yeah, and I was super happy. I was super stoked. I was like, yeah, that's it. This is getting manufactured now and whatnot. So then the next day, I drive back here to Russia, and I open up the box with the other supplier, and I get them, and right away I felt that, like, deep down inside of me, I knew this product was much better in terms of overall quality, in terms of the materials, and it was much higher quality than the supplier that I have already sent money to. So I was it wasn't that I was really frustrated in the beginning. What happened was that I lied to myself at the moment that I opened the box. So my unconsciously I understood that it's much better, and that I would rather place an order with this supplier. But since I have already sent the money with the other supplier, I lied to myself, I deceived myself, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of good, but still, this one is better because, and then I started to make up reasons. And this is what happens when you are committed to financially to one supplier, but then you receive another sample and you understand it so much better. So then I'm I'm walking around, I'm living my life. It goes on about, and this thought is in my head constantly. And then about a week later, I sit down, I look at it, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I made a mistake. And I started to realize that in one of my principles is to provide the customers with the highest quality, with the best experience ever. And this decision that I made does not align with this principle. And I was like, okay, you know what? I gotta do something about this. I need to cancel. I need to get a refund. I need to, just stop the process now. I need to accept a $500 mistake and not get myself committed even more, because that was only 30%. So it was good. I was logical in a sense that I stopped the mistake early and didn't proceed with it, but I did hurry with this decision. That's why I made the mistake. And and then what happened was I just messaged the supplier, listen, I want to cancel the order. There was some back and forth messaging. Then I opened a dispute on Alibaba and whatever. The Alibaba was on the supplier side. They said, listen, they already bought the material for the product and whatnot. So basically, I'm getting no refund back, but the material, the fabric that the supplier purchased, I have requested them to send it over to the new supplier, to the one I'm working now with. So it's kind of like I still have a chance of maybe using the fabric, or what I'm hoping for is selling it. So I will ask kindly the freight forwarder or the supplier to sell the fabric for me, and then we can kind of split the money. So I'm not that much of a loss, but it's still a loss. So this was kind of the little story that happened along the lines. So now I want to give you 3 practical tips for you that you can that you should think about and maybe implement when you are doing that. I highly recommend you implement these tips, because this will help you avoid costly mistakes. So tip number 1 is be patient and do not rush things. Okay, so I wanted to get things out, done and out and launched as soon as possible. So I made a decision based on emotion and not based on reason. And this decision that was based on emotion did not align with my principle. Instead, it aligned with this emotion that I was feeling, that I wanted to get this out as soon as possible. And because I rushed, because I didn't take, a day or 2, which really doesn't matter now as I look at it, this costed me $500. So be patient, do not rush things, and really think about which supplier you're going to work with. What are you looking for? Like, what are you looking for? The highest quality or the medium quality, or what is it that you're looking for? Take your time and make a rational, logical decision. As they say, sleep on it. So, even if you like know for sure this is the one, just take one more extra day, and just don't think about it at all. Sleep on it, and then the next day, write like a half a page, explanation, or a page explanation why you want to go with this, or even just a few sentences, just why you're going with this supplier, not that one. So tip number 2 is be honest with yourself, and do not deceive yourself. So this is really important, because what happened to me was that I unconsciously kind of lied to myself. I don't know how to put it into words, and when I got that supplier, I kind of thought to myself, okay, this is good enough, So I lied to myself, right? But I was being honest, and I was not deceiving a week later, when I kind of started to understand that, hey, listen, this does not align with what I want, with my principles. So, if you are making a mistake, don't proceed with it, and don't get yourself involved financially and committed financially even further. If you have put some money down and you're kind of like, oh my God, like I've already like spent this money, I've committed to this one. Don't let the commitment consistency bias get to you. If you understand that you made a mistake and it costed you something, stop there. Don't go any further, because the further you go, the more painful it's going to get. You're going to be knowing that you did the wrong thing, but instead of accepting a small loss in perspective, right? $500 is not a small loss, but in perspective to what I could have potentially get myself committed to, which is over 2,000, it is a big commitment. So relatively, it was a small loss. So accept the small loss and correct your path, correct your decision. And now tip number 3 is operate from principles. So what I mean by this is decide from the start on what is it that you are looking for and what message you want to put across to the customer. So when I first started this, I really thought about this hard, and I decided that I didn't want to compete by price on Amazon, right? But what I did want to provide was I wanted to provide the best experience ever. So all the way from, seeing the image to landing on the product page, to seeing the pictures, to viewing the bullet points and the price and the description and how it all puts together, and all the way to receiving the package and trying on the product and getting this feeling of I like it and that everything is well, So if I get this whole process right, if I leave the customer satisfied, then there is a high chance of him either referring me to his friends or coming back for the next purchase. And that's so when you operate from principles, where to align your decisions with. So if you say, for example, one of my principles that I want to provide the customer with the highest quality, then that when you receive samples from 5 suppliers, you are going with the one that has the best feel to it, the best fabric to it, the highest quality materials, and so forth. So this is the 3rd tip. So this is it for today's video, for this little update. And if you have any questions, drop them down in the comment below, or if you like this little challenge that I'm making, make sure to press that like button. And also, if you want to follow this journey, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And because I will be doing this further, I will be talking about the products and when it's going to get to the Amazon warehouse and how I'm going to launch it and what I'm going to do and how much it's going to cost me. I'm going to talk about everything. So if you're interested and you want to do this later on, just make sure to follow this journey. So thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video update. Thank you.